Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 29, 7:19 a.m. Eastern Time. Let's start with this morning call video with a quick disclaimer. As usual, I only express my studies. I'm not a financial advisor. Futures, stocks, cryptocurrency, and options trade involve substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for every investor. The valuation of cryptocurrency, future, stocks may fluctuate, and as a result, investors may lose more than their original investment, especially if you are leveraged. The summary of the market structure document. Vol Skill suggests me support at 5,820. Note that if you compare volume and open interest, we close in a no flow region because per open interest we have weakness below 5,830 and per volume below 5,820, right? So we close between those levels in a no flow region. I highlighted this in the market structure document. 5,810 is a key support level. I refer to the previous market structure document, the one that I delivered to you guys Saturday morning. If you break it down 5,810, another backtest of 5,790 will going to happen. Magnets, last 9 magnets, GX, is pushing us up, at least up to 5,850. XPX keep trading inside the range, not giving us a real direction yet. Vega suggests another drop in volatility tomorrow, but remember, Vega fluctuates, especially because Vol Skill and implied volatility. Vega is volatility, right? So we will review right now. So we could see supportive flow at the open. Worst case scenario for today is 5,706 per DEX, right? Yesterday they predefined a very important support at 5,606, also match with the OPEX November 15 support in the region that I show you guys several times. Today at the open, before the open, we have some economic data, very important economic data, special regarding the job market, the JOLTS, right? And the consumer confidence that can impact directly in the bonds yields. We also have, a very important earnings agenda, especially with some Magnificent 7 after the close, as Alphabet. Before the open, you have McDonald's, PayPal, British Petroleum, Royal Caribbean, JetBlue, Crocs. It's very important companies, big companies. Okay. Something that caught my attention yesterday, right, was the big drop in DIX. The DIX came from almost like 50% to 46%, dropped 4%. So liquidity was removed. Usually, when you see removal of liquidity, the next day tends to be a trending day. Okay, so don't go against the trend. Usually this is the pattern. As soon as they remove liquidity from the book, especially like 4%, right? And in the next day we tend to see a trending day. Anyway, now let's review the structure in pre-market. So since we already cover basically all the levels, 5,810 is a very important support. Breaking down, we could back test 5,709, worst case scenario 5,760, okay, and maximum upside target 5,850. Okay, but of course we have resistance before 5,850. Now the main resistance will be 5,835 that I show us why in pre-market. I will leave this open because I want to show you some. Let's compare the difference between the open interest left yesterday and after the update. Note that we don't have too much difference between yesterday and pre-market after the update of the CBOE. The major difference for me is the one highlighted over here in yellow, right, or orange, whatever. Before, note that the weakness per open interest started below 5,825. So they moved up 10 points. Now puts are in dominance below 5,835. So the major resistance now, the inflection point for the upside, now will be 5,835. So we guys need to look 5,835 as a squeeze region. Okay, so the setup, the pre-setup through future, could you be a setup for a squeeze? Of course could. Okay, of course could, but we need to connect the puzzle of the piece of the puzzles. Okay, so now we need to look at 5,835 as a squeeze region. Below 5,835 per open interest, puts are in dominance. Note that the majority of the put is concentrated at 5,820, and below 5,820 we have 4,800. Not 4,800, 5,800. Okay? So, inflection point for the downside is 5,820. Inflection point for the upside 5,835, because it's the squeeze region. Regarding upside target, as I told you guys in the summary, and because the JAX was predefined yesterday at 5,850, note that the majority of the calls are concentrated at 5,850. Okay, so if you break up 35, expect 5,850 printing. In another hand, if you break down 5,820, expect 5,800, 5,709, 5,760. Okay, so basically those are the levels. So as I said, we need to connect the piece of the puzzles, right? Could you be a setup for a squeeze? Yes, I don't disregard. The problem is Vega, right, now showing us volatility at the open. So to suppress volatility, market needs to go back above 5,820. So far we are below 5,820 since future suggests minus 6 points, right? So if you see markets, trade between 5,820 and 5,835, 35 is the squeeze region, right? Vega shows us, a possibility of volatility suppression between 5,820 and 5,835. Since 5,835 is the squeeze region, if we see at the open trade between 20 and 35, the tendency is to have a supportive flow at the open, as I cited over here, because the vol skew and the Vega. Okay. Anyway, now you guys know about the level. Pay attention in the current gamma. So the minus GX is located at 5,820, and the plus GX is located at 5,850. So tendency to see volatility, right? Because it's a 30 points spread between gamma exposure. Of course, as I said, could you be a squeeze? Could you be a squeeze? Because we will open a negative gamma territory. Open a negative gamma territory, as you guys know, buy rally, sell weakness, different than the positive. Buy weakness, sell rallies. So when we are in a positive gamma territory, we have a very limited upside. When we are in a negative, in positive gamma territory, we have limited upside, because markets respect a lot of the gamma exposure. In another hand, in a negative gamma territory, markets usually you see big candles, resistance tends to be breaking, because we see delta neutralization, consequently gamma squeeze, right? That's the pattern. So we need to look for those levels that I told you guys. Worst case scenario 5,760. Squeeze level 5,835. GX 5,850 plus GX minus GX 5,820. 5,820 inflection point for the downsize. Below 5,820 probability you backtest 5,800. Why I'm always looking for 5,706, 5,770? Because I show you guys this several times. You have, supportive structure at 5,775, 5,760, 5,750 for the OPEX November 15. Okay? So we need to look for those levels. If you break down this level, we need to look for 5,725. And then the worst case scenario, no flow region, 5,650. Let me also highlight this to you guys. I put yellow, 5,725 is the next level of support. Let me put in yellow. And almost certainly, if they want to really sink the market here, no flow, premium collection region, this is supposed to be the supra-sumo, should be long for the last leg up. Okay, let me get total OPEX. Those are the levels. Gotcha. Anyway, since you already covered the entire book, the structure for today, let's talk about the election. I want to highlight some things. I know that I'm not. I don't support Democrats. I don't support Republicans either, because both are very extreme people with extreme ideology people. Nowadays, the big problem that we have with our leaders is because they don't try to get unified. They really want to get this in an extreme, separation. Because when society starts to fight between each other, they have much more control, they have much more power, right? You guys have been noticed, doesn't matter where, France with Macron, here with Obama or Trump, in Brazil with Bolsonaro and Lula, Venezuela with Maduro, right? You guys have been here only the same leaders. You guys understand that? We haven't been seeing like new candidates coming by to try to take control for a country, like here in US, like in Brazil. You guys realize that good candidates in US, like Kennedy, I don't know if Kennedy is a good candidate, but it's a good name, it's a good family, very good reputation, right? But for me, the most, the better US politician, in my humble opinion, is Ron DeSantis, because the amazing management that he have been doing in Florida, right? Florida is a very, how can I say, well-structured state, and he have been doing a very nice work for a long time. So basically, what I'm seeing over here in Florida, because I live in Florida, I live in Miami, for me, the best politicians, US politicians, is Ron DeSantis. You guys, he saw the biggest issue that the United States has. At the beginning of his candidature to be the president, he already gave up. He even, give a chance to test him, because he knows how things are. He's not a dumbass, right? Nobody wanna be the US president or the Brazilian presidents other than what we have been seeing. Junk presidents like Trump, like Kamala. They're poor junk. I I'm sorry to say that. I know that people support them, but I don't. I don't support left. I don't support right. I mean, left doesn't exist. You know, what exists is a fascism. Call it Democrats, or fascism, call it Republicans. Right? So, getting back to the point about the extreme, you know, in politics that you have nowadays. So, this extreme making also the society to protect, you know, what they have been doing. If you support Democrats and Democrats messing up, you guys, you defend them with your life. And same thing happens with the Republicans. If they mess it up, you know, people that are extreme Republicans will defend them. Consequently, the things will not be fixed. Because the society now has their eyes closed and not looking for what they have been doing. They just only decide to defend an ideology, a political ideology. That's the worst thing ever. We have been walking to the end of the world. Period. So, gays is normal nowadays. A gay family adopt a child is normal nowadays. You know, a guy in Brazil called Enéas, he passed away. He's a very smart guy. He was a candidate of president of Brazil, but smart guys is never getting there because they are so smart and they can fight against the system. Using their smarts, they can build tools to fight against the system. So the system will not allow them to manage a country. And the guy, you know, when this starts in Brazil, you know, a big liberation, he said, I'm not against, I don't have preconception against homosexuals. But you guys need to understand this is not a normal thing. Because if girls start to get married for girls and men start to get married for men, the human beings will die. Because how can you make new babies? Right? That's the beginning of the end. And this is true. This is true. So you guys understand who I vote? You know, I put to my friends. I don't think I don't know if he's the best candidate, but at least he protects the family principles, right? He's a guy that was Republican or was Democrat before. He understand both sides. He's from Massachusetts. If I'm not wrong, he has a degree from Massachusetts, from the Massachusetts University. He came from a very good family. So, and he was Mariner, right? His name is Peter Sonsky. I know that he will not win, but for me, reading his skill, reading his knowledge, and his philosophy is much more like me, you know. I defend, family principles. I sent to my friend also, who is him, because a lot of people even doesn't know who is him. Political position. As a proponent of Christian democracy, Sonsky support a consistent life ethic, being against abortion, capital punishment, and euthanasia. He additionally supports social justice initiatives. He is against the legalization of same-sex marriage and believes that gay couples should not have the same adoption right as straight couples. So basically, this is my interpretation. Okay, basically, my interpretation is this guy is more a family-based. He was Mariner. Okay, he was a Mariner. So he's a really patriot because he was a Mariner. And if you check, the Wikipedia, he was Democrat and he was Republican before. So he knows both parties. So I really don't want to support people that have been in the power of this country for a long time and not have been doing nothing. Nothing. Just generating debt to try to recover the economy. So I can't support Trump and I can't support Kamala. Since I already expressed my thought, you guys know that I don't support or Kamala or Trump. But let talk about who the market is pricing to be the new president. Per bonds yields, looks like that they are pricing Trump is going to be win. Also, per cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is pricing that Trump will win. And the most important indicator for me is the move. Is the bond market volatility. We are going nearby to the COVID, to the fastest crash ever. So the move for me also showing us a problem anytime soon, sooner than later. And for me is pricing Trump as well. So looks like that the Trump will generate more debt than Kamala. That's my interpretation. But something that caught my attention yesterday was this. Was the raise in rates in Russia. If they raise rates in 21% yesterday, right, is because they are pricing that the war is not going to end anytime soon. They, the Central Bank of Russia raised rates also heavily, not as 21%, but I think I'm not wrong, was 15 or 17% after the first year of the war. At the beginning of the war, Russia went very well. The currency spiked, the oil spiked, everything spiked. Consequently, the economy and their currency went well. But after 1 year of war, you guys notice that the Russian currency start to sink faster than furious. So what the central bank, over the local central bank did, raise the rates in 15 or 16 or 17%, something like that. Just go back and check. So if they are raising again, my interpretation is the war is not going to over anytime soon. And usually Democrats use the war to try to support the economy, bring commodities going higher, especially oil. Oil is the industry that hire much more people than any others, because they need engineers, they need information technology, they need blue collar, white collar, they need helicopter pilots, airplane pilots. They need all knowledge as possible. That's the biggest industry ever, right? So usually Democrats really love a war, because that's the way that the system tell them how to try to help the economy, bring special oil price up. Banks own oil companies like BlackRock, JP Morgan, etc. Okay, so my main concern about the election, to be or Trump or Kamala, was the big raise rates in Russia. Okay, my interpretation for this is that the war is not going to over anytime soon. If the war, didn't gone anytime soon, is because they are pricing, Democrats winning. But our other assets move, bonds volatility, bonds yields, and cryptocurrency is pricing Trump. Okay, is pricing Trump. That I'm looking for, and this is also my interpretation who will win the U.S. president, the GDP race. Okay, the GOP race. Guys, talk to you guys during the intraday. Take care.